G'day guys, welcome back to another Sir Cooper trip report. I'm currently just outside of Sydney Terminal 2 where I've arrived from the Gold Coast on Jetstar's A320 and I'm on my way to transfer to Sydney's International Terminal for my flight to Phuket. If you want to see my trip report on the Jetstar A320, feel free to click the info card in the top right of the screen. Alright, after the quick bus ride over, we've made it to the International Terminal, where the departure hall should be just up these escalators. Ascending those escalators, you end up at the very end of the enormous international check-in area, conveniently right next to the Jetstar check-in area. There's already a long line for those travelling with us to Phuket, and check-in hasn't opened yet, so we'll have to wait for our turn for quite some time. Here's our flight on the departure board, JQ27. We're still waiting as check-in for Jetstar international flights start 3 hours before departure, and it's only 11:31 at the moment, another 14 minutes before the line starts to move. You can't quite see it, but the line for this flight curves multiple times towards the check-in desks, and this empty area next to us is for a Jetstar flight to Queenstown. We were previously over there towards the departure board, so we've moved a bit, but we still have a lot of waiting to go.
No electronics, laptops, batteries, iPads, power packs, anything of the sort? No. Fantastic.
Now that check-in is done, it's time to head towards the food court before going on to security and passport control. Walking past check-in aisle J, you pass by a couple specialty retail stores like Amcal Pharmacy and this Australian specialty store for those international visitors looking for a last-minute souvenir. Along the ends of all the check-in aisles there are currency exchange booths like this one, and after passing the booth we began to arrive at the food court where I'll be stopping for lunch. Alright, we've got our food on order, so I thought I'd bring you on a tour of the pre-passport control food court. Right off the bat there was an Oporto's and Betty's Burgers, alongside plenty of seating next to this wonderful view towards the international apron. This glass is a part of a dividing line between pre- and post-passport control. Alongside the seating area was a small cafe with his Hungry Jack's adjacent to it. Next to the Hungry Jack's is another large seating area, a Sahara Grill, a Subway, another small cafe, a Flavors of Vietnam, a Seoul Origin store, and a few more novelty stores like these Think Sydney, Surf Dive and Ski, Sunglass Hut and Kathmandu stores. Beyond the Kathmandu is the entrance to security and passport control, as well as the famous SYD sign with a dedicated photo spot. I snuck in a quick photo before returning to eat my lunch. Alright, we've just passed through security and passport control, and we're trying to navigate through this endless maze of duty-free stores to find somewhere to sit. Just about the only things that caught my eye here were the Louis Vuitton and JB Hi-Fi stores. I was almost tempted to sidetrack my entire family just to have a little peek at some of their offers at JB Hi-Fi. There's JQ27 on the departure board, although it says gate showing at 1:35. That's strange, I've never seen that before. Anyways, I think I've spotted something that's caught my eye. After navigating through this large seating area, you end up at this giant window offering gorgeous views out to the rest of the airport. This view offers amazing sights out to most of the main runway, the cross runway, and even all the way to Shep's Mound. Right in front of me here is a scoot which seems to be pretty scratched up there at the front of the plane from all of its flights. But next to the window is something I'd seen online before traveling here. The famous Sky Kitchen McDonald's, with a vertical conveyor belt system delivering food from the second floor kitchen to customers down below. It's simply an amazing display of innovation from Macca's. Anyways, time to find a place to sit, set up base, and take some photos of all the aircraft sitting dormant here. I'm walking back from Pier C and thought I'd show you all of the sort of stuff that's on offer, not just here, but throughout the entire terminal. There's plenty of seating area, random little cafes like this one, and plenty of general/specialty retail stores like this big WH Smith. Throughout the entire terminal, there's plenty of stores like those, with a lot of the duty-free stores located at the center of the terminal, just after security. Anyways, it looks like the gate to our flight is open, so I ought to get going. Oh wait, that's a good view. Apologies, my curiosity got the best of me there. Now we're in a rush to get to the gate because supposedly they're up to a final call. Ah, phew, we made it. I guess it's time for us to board now.
That's Jetstar flight JT27, service to Phuket, final 825.
Our aircraft for today is Victor Hotel Victor Kilo India, VH-VKI, a 9-year-old Boeing 787-8. Jetstar's Boeing 787s have both business and economy class cabin, with 21 business class seats in a 232 configuration and 314 economy seats in a 333 layout. For this flight, I'll be sitting just behind the wing in seat 46J. If you want to know more about the history of our aircraft today, then check the description for more info. Thank you.
Smoking, vaping, and the use of e-cigarettes is not permitted on board.
Alright, before we get going, I thought I'd run you through the seat tour. In front of us is this reasonably sized in-flight entertainment IFE screen. When you board, it's preset to display what sort of stuff is offered on the IFE, and hitting the X brings you to the home screen. I'll be exploring the IFE later in the flight though, so let's move on. Below that is the tray table which extends out towards you. And then there's a large seat back pocket where the safety card, menu and sick bags are kept, as well as some of my belongings. The legroom is about a hand and 2, maybe 3 fingers, which is okay for sitting and later on in the flight sleeping.
The last aircraft doors about to be closed. Once again, this is flight JT27 to Phuket, Thailand, with all our passengers now leave the aircraft, adequate for departure.
Beside me here, below the window, is something unique to the Boeing 787, the adjustable window tinting to let in/out sunlight. Something frustrating is that the crew can set this during the flight, ruining shots for me later on in the video. Above me is an adjustable fan, a light, and no crew call button? Strange. Anyways, just below the IFE is a USB port for charging and a pair of headphone jacks to listen to videos on the IFE. This was filmed after pushback, but the seat headrest is adjustable if you want to lean on something while you sleep. Well, that's about it for the tour. It's 2:16 and we're scheduled to depart in the next 10 minutes, so let's get to it.
It is important that you're familiar with the safety features of this Boeing 787 aircraft. Please watch the crew member closest to you and listen carefully.
As we get underway, please make sure your personal electronic devices are in a flight safe mode or otherwise completely switched off. Your carry-on baggage and larger electronic devices should now be placed either under the seat in front of you or in an overhead locker. Check that your seat back is upright, your tray table is stowed away, and your arm and headrests are lowered. The seatbelt sign above you will be illuminated whenever you must have your seatbelt fastened. To fasten your seatbelt, click the buckle and clasp, and pull on the loose strap to tighten. Undo the seatbelt by lifting the buckle flap. The seatbelt is most effective when worn low, tight, and throughout the entire flight. Make sure you're familiar with the brace position best suited to your seat. The onboard safety instruction card in your seat pocket
Alrighty, it's been about an hour since we departed and my IFE has randomly stopped working. But aside from that, it's time for the menu tour. To start with, on the top left of the page are the drinks, including soft drinks, juices and water. And below that are some alcoholic beverages, such as mini and mixer, beer, wine and ginger beers. On the center page are some light meals like sandwiches, wraps and pies. Then below that are some savory snacks. Then some noodles and risotto are on offer too. On the right page you can find the hot drinks like tea, coffee and a hot chocolate. Then there's sweet snacks on offer. And then below that are some merchandise for purchase as well. These model planes are very tempting, I must say. Up the back of the menu are the combo deals, including the Keep Me Moving deal, Kids Combo, Combo Fave, and Me Time Combo. And the international meals, exclusive for flights like the one I'm on. Finally, there's the Chill Kit on offer for international flights as well. After a proper examination of the menu, I've made my decision for the first meal service of the flight. About 30 minutes after I toured the menu, my IFE has been fixed by crew, and the first meal service passed through the cabin. I got the chocolate cake slice, although it's called a chocolate chip bread on the packaging. And I also got this cup of English breakfast tea. Anyways, my IFE broke, and I asked the cabin crew if they knew how to fix it, and although I had to call crew twice to get them to reset it, they were very kind and helpful. Also, while I talk, here's some stats on our flight so far. We're only 90 minutes in with over 7 hours to go. You know, this is the longest flight I've actually ever been on, by the way, so we'll see how I go. Hello again. Now that we've crossed the coast into the East Indian Ocean, it's time for a quick tour of the bathroom. In the center cabin bathroom, there's a large sink area with a motion-activated faucet. There's foamy soap and some extra toilet paper to the side of the sink. In front of the sink, there's a large mirror, and on the door into the bathroom, there's a coat hanger. Doing a 180, you can find a fold-out baby change table, and the centerpiece of the bathroom, the toilet. Other than that, there really isn't much else of noteworthiness, so I'll head back to my seat now. We've just flown over Denpasar, Bali, which has previously been the furthest into Asia I've travelled, so all of this is new, uncharted territory for me. Anyways, it appears as if the second meal service has begun for those who pre-ordered, so I should be able to order my food in the next half hour or so. It's pitch black outside as well, so I'll be using my IFE to show you where we are in the flight. It's only been 20 minutes and I've been gifted my hot chocolate. I ordered some food, one of the international meals that I showed during the menu tour, but I was told I have to wait 30 minutes for it. 30 minutes! I get there might be a bit of a backlog, but that feels like an absurd amount of time. Anyways, it's 5:42 in Phuket. We have about 2 hours and 44 minutes left in the flight, so that should help pass the time a bit. Okay, it's been about 30 minutes since I got my hot chocolate, and now my food has arrived. I got the lasagna, which I know looks like a heap of molten lava, but it was food and I was so grateful to be eating it. My hot chocolate is long gone, taken by rubbish collectors, but that doesn't matter. I'll just enjoy this food and pass the time as best I can. Alright, I'm pleased to announce that this is officially my first time passing into the Northern Hemisphere. I believe that's Kota Bharu off in the distance there, which means we're somewhere just south of the Malaysian-Thailand border. It's been about 50 minutes since the last time I filmed. I spent most of that time trying to sleep, but that's almost impossible, I found. We've only got another 34 minutes until we land in Phuket, so let's get it. Alright, after 8.5 hours and over 13 minutes in the video, I've finally come to do a hasty review of the IFE. Just as a warning, excuse the footage quality. Starting off, we have the movies section where they offer you a variety of ways to find the movie best suited for you. Entering the Browse A to Z tab shows the large amount of movies on offer. You won't be getting bored watching movies, there's something for everyone. Looking at TV shows now, there seems to be just as equally an extensive selection on offer there too. Going into music, there's lots of categories here too, with the A to Z tab down the very bottom. Here there's tons of music for you to listen to, some that I even enjoy, like Baby Animals at the top. Next there's the game tab, which offers a limited number of games, all of which seem to be pretty basic. I'd imagine Golf Open would be impossible to play during turbulence. There's also the kids zone where they can choose between watching TV shows or movies, listening to music, or playing some games. Very well designed to entertain the young ones. Skipping over information for now, there's two things in application. There's an inbuilt seat chat in case you get separated from loved ones, and there's an option to connect to your own devices via USB. Finally, in information, there's a health tab, a free zone, details of our aircraft, and the flight map I've been using. Here's some info on our aircraft. You probably can't read that too well though. Last but not least, here's the flight map. We're getting excitingly close to Phuket, only about 30 minutes away, so let's get to it. To save you from watching a whole lot of black, empty nothingness, here's the last 40 seconds of the flight just before touchdown. Thank you all so much for watching until the very end of the video. This was my first time traveling internationally since I started SoCooper, so this flight really means a lot to me despite its exhaustingly long duration. Overall, the flight was good. As mentioned, I was extremely exhausted, even going back to when we crossed the Australian coast. The crew was super friendly and were as efficient as they could be. The only issues I had with the flight were when my IFE suddenly turned off at the start of the flight, and all the cabin lights were dimmed well before sunset, and when I had to wait ages for my lasagna. In any case, most of my issues are to be expected on long-haul flights, so no fault on Jetstar's part. I'm just glad I could make it smoothly from the Gold Coast all the way to here in Phuket with the airline. Anyways, thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you again for another trip report very soon.